everybody, welcome back to Active Self-Protection Extra here again at C2 Tactical. Super grateful for them here in Scottsdale giving us a base so that we can film some content here again with my friend Destiny, who is probably a better shooter than you. And I'm just claiming it. There's some good shooters who watch the channel, but you know what? It's a different thing to shoot with 250,000 people watching, for sure. We are out on the range here today, and again, just getting some work on real problems that we see on the channel. And today, an interesting one you'll have a very hard time doing. In fact, you couldn't do on a public range. You can work on this in your dry practice if you're very honest. You can work on this in a class if the instructor is competent to teach it. We're going to work today on moving back, on gaining some space and getting some shots on target.
Darkstar Gear is one of the few companies that I trust to make holsters that I wear. They make high quality appendix carry holsters for a variety of firearms manufacturers. Check them out at the link in the description.
Pump the brakes on this one. This one, I'm going to tell you, if you do this live fire and you know, when we're moving backwards, the human body is not built to move rapidly to the rear, okay? And what ends up happening is you go, as my grandpa used to say, ass over tea kettle, and then you end up tumbling, and then where's your gun pointed, and what's it doing, and those kind of things. So we're going to start this one at a very sedate pace and then move up a little bit. Now, again, just setting up the problem, right? Video's linked in the description. Bad guy starts advancing, good guy's got to back away, right? Because what's our first inclination when somebody advances on us with a machete, a knife, or something like that? I wish I could say we were all like tactically super ninja-y and we, move laterally offline because that's the angle of dominance in these things. But what's the reality of things? Somebody walks towards you with a knife or they start charging with a knife, you back up, right? I don't like a backup when somebody's doing, I'm telling you, it is a tactical superiority to move laterally, okay? Or to move diagonally. In fact, actually the best one is to move towards them on the diagonal. Sounds crazy, but true. However, our natural inclination is to move back. Sometimes we want to experience that. Can I still get good fire on target? So we're going to start this one from a gun in hand position at the start, because again, it eliminates a problem, right? Because what tends to happen is that if I start moving backwards and then I go for a gun, specifically and especially an appendix carried gun, what people tend to do to get the appendix gun out is they lengthen their spine and that leans them backwards even further, right? So they start moving backwards to lean and that leans them backwards. Then they lean backwards even more. Next thing I know, I'm outside of my base. I'm outside of my center of gravity. I end up on my booty, okay? Don't want to do that here. You see all this gray in my beard? I could break a hip doing that. Hopefully not. But so all we're going to do here is we're going to start at the 3-yard line and we're going to back to a couple of steps, couple good hard steps with the gun out. And then once we've backed up at least 2 steps, then we're going to, as we bring the gun up, see it bang, bang, and get shots on him, right? What's the thought on this? Now, I know, okay, wait a minute. We're going to move a little faster a little bit later, but I want to get a feel for that at first. And really, if I've got the gun out, hey, drop whatever it is, drop the knife, get away from me, whatever, back up, dude. That baseball bat's not going to help you in this situation. I'm sorry your mother didn't love you enough as a child, but I can't help you today, okay? Whatever. Then he decides, no, I'm going to beat you over the head with a baseball bat, even though I know you got a gun in your hand. Bad decision. Now, how much space do I need in order to prosecute and get a couple good shots? Well, what ends gunfights? What ends gunfights?
Good shots.
Good hits, right? Good anatomically significant hits, A zones. So if I shoot him here in the guts because I'm just beating on that trigger like it owes me money and not gripping the gun adequately, well, that's not going to end gunfights. He'll keep doing what he's doing. If I hit him ancillary stuff, hits in the chubs don't generally end gunfights. They hurt, but they don't end gunfights, right? Guys can shrug that stuff off. Even hits in the legs, can shrug that stuff off. But in the pumps and pipes, I hit him in that kind of 8-inch circle here in the high center chest. I just don't see people keep doing what they're doing through that. They lay down, they go, and they lay down and stop doing what they're doing. Of course, headshot, you shut off the electrical system. That's a whole different kettle of fish, right? Done. However, harder shot. So we're going to use our A zones here. And I just want to see that from the beginning. What we're going to work on is just, again, low ready position at that. Hey, get away from me, dude. And then I'm just going to walk like normal. So if I think about this, a lot of times people are like, oh, okay, I've got to kind of do this like shuffle step kind of moonwalk thing. I think, okay, fine. I know how to take a couple of big steps back. I don't really have to do that. The one thing I would say is I don't want my head getting back. right? So a lot of times, so sometimes people will do that where they kind of lean to give themselves some momentum. What I would rather do is just push off and get a couple of big steps. And I want to keep my center of gravity over my base, okay? My base is the portions of me that are touching the ground. So if I'm here and I've got a kind of a good base here, if I'm in a good shooting position with my strong side leg back, then all I'm going to do here is I'm going to push off with the leg that's in front. Boom, got it. 1, 2, keeps me right on my base. Okay? Let's try it a little bit and shoot and stop talking. Okay, everybody's got eyes and ears on. So I'm going to shoot from the 5 here is where I'm shooting from. Okay? And again, I'm just starting here from about the 3. Now, again, would I want to be in this kind of proximity to a guy with a baseball bat? No, I would back up sooner, right? But again, all I'm looking at here is he's coming in. Let's just, for me right now, like I don't want to energize the moving targets. I could energize the moving target, have it move. When it starts moving at me, I start backing up and all that stuff. It's just too much of a pain right now, and so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to start here from this position, again, with the gun at a low ready position. Now, here's where my dot friends, if you are gun English and not gun Amish, okay, if you're gun English, then that's an Amish joke if you understand the Amish world. Then you can, when my gun is out here, my dot is in the window and I can see my dot. Now it's in my periphery. I don't have a real kind of bead on the circle because I'm looking at the A zone. Hey bro, back up, go away, get rid, get out of here, whatever. And I'm pointed down pretty far. So all I'm going to do here again, if I'm sitting in this position, hey man, back up, leave me alone, get away from me. No, okay, fine. I'm going to back up. 1, 2, 3. Now, okay, let's holster up carefully. Was that rapid movement? Not necessarily, but let's look at my hits. 1, 2, 3. These are all previous drills. 1, 2, 3. Perfectly acceptable. They're going to do what I need them to do, right? So he's gonna back up a little bit. So let's try it again. Get a little bit more urgency. Yep, still had the last one in there. Okay, push it and then pull it because I'm not a bad instructor. All right. So if I start here, and again, I'm below the target here. Hey, bro, leave me alone, whatever. He goes, no, okay. Okay, I shot one just a little bit to the left, but those first 3 probably do the job for me, okay? Des, come on in camera. Okay, questions that you have?
I don't think so.
All right, let's give it a try. Get up here and rock and roll.
Actually, were you going from draw, or did you already
No,
have it?
I started again from a low ready position on this because
Okay.
We'll do that as the advanced iteration, but let's start this from a low ready.
Okay.
Now, again, she's gun English, so I would recommend 2 hands on the gun, right? So when at all possible, I got 2 hands on the gun. Now, you notice here that you are flat-footed, okay, which is fine. I mean, what I mean by that is that your feet are together. For you, I want a foot. I don't care which one it is, whichever one it is, because what this does when I'm in this kind of athletic stance with one foot slightly behind the other, it lets me move in any direction a little easier, okay? So, and then you're going to push off whichever foot it is in front. That's the foot you're going to push off on.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, now again, if I'm talking to him and I'm looking at that A zone, I'm seeing his hands, whatever, can you see your dot in the periphery? That's super helpful, right? Because if I'm looking up at him, but I can see the dot here, all I got to do is bring the dot up into the range that I want, and I can shoot him. Make sense? Okay, so now you're going to start by taking a couple of good steps back while the gun comes up on target, and as the gun is coming up on target, you're moving, that's okay. Get a couple good shots in him.
Okay. Out.
I'm out. Okay. Second shot was good. Would have probably put him down.
Where did that first one? Was that
First
left?
one is the one to the left. Okay. Safely holster. Or you don't have to. You can just walk it back up. Try it again.
It was definitely with the movement. It's a lot harder. I couldn't see it as I was bouncing.
Okay. It's a lot harder, right?
Yeah.
So again, what I find when I'm moving like that, just a little bit of bend in my elbows gives me a little bit more kind of flexibility and a little less bounce.
Like a little shock absorber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give it another go.
All right.
Good hits. Try it again. Did you feel the left and right sway you're doing there? Did you feel this you're kind of
No,
back
not
and
at all.
forthing like this? So
Just
go ahead and holster up. Holster
Okay.
up real quick. So let's just think about here. Here's where your feet are. You like your left foot back. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no problem with that as a right-handed shooter. Okay. But whatever the case may be, what I want you to think about right now is we're just going to move backwards. And so here's what I saw you doing. Step back here, and I want to kind of show you so you can see it. Is that you were kind of this way? Do you see that kind of sway?
Yeah.
Back and forth. And what I'd like to see instead, is just stepping back.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah,
Try it a couple times.
I think I was probably doing that to like try to get a better base. I think it was why I was going wider.
Remember, now I'm moving, right? So mobility is my number one thing right now.
Okay.
So give that a try and just so all I'm thinking here is my feet are about shoulder width apart. That's fine. Now I'm moving backwards and walking. I'm just walking backwards.
Okay.
Now I'd like you to do it without the gun in your hand first, just so you can feel it.
Okay. How big of steps are you taking when you're going back?
I'm simply taking a step that
like a normal step that I would for my size.
I'm just trying to back up fairly quickly.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to do. Do you see how much more stable that is?
For sure. I don't know.
Just step backwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Gun's not going to push you around. Now go ahead and get your gun.
All right. Okay, there's my dot. All right.
Good. Safely holstered. See how much more quickly you were able to get shots on target doing that?
And I felt way more stable. Like
Okay.
my dot didn't really jump around as much as when I was going side to side. I think that's what I kept losing my dot out of the window. This time it stayed there.
Awesome. Now we're going to do it a little bit diagonally, just so then that way we've got that better kind of getting offline a little bit, okay? So let me step in real quick. I'm going to show that. So same thing I'm going to do here. All I'm going to do on this particular case, see it out here, and then now here's one that it's a little bit advanced, okay? So it's not as advanced as you think, because it plays into a previous video that we did about turning your shoulders, okay? Because some people can go, oh, okay, I'm going to freaking cross step here and cross step in and cross step here and cross step in. And you can do that. Or it's pretty easy here that I'm just going to turn my hips and drive backwards this way. So I just turn my hips. I think that's a way easier thing. So once I started doing this at a 45, so here's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm seeing this, hey man, leave me alone. Now I want to push off and go this way. And so I'm just turning my shoulders and hips into the guy. That's all I'm doing. So I can continue to move off the line, okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. So again, here I am. Hey man, leave me alone. Now I'm moving this way to my right to get away from his right hand, which probably has whatever bad thing is in it, right? 85, 90% of people in the US are right-handed. He's probably got the bad thing in his right hand, the baseball bat, the machete, the knife, whatever it is, okay? So again, as I'm going this way, I'm just going, hey man, leave me alone. Doing that here, okay? That's the way I want that to look. Come on in and give it a try. Now, I have to apologize to you, okay? Shot that at my pace. Just because I was engaged, I got in my own head, okay? You don't shoot my pace, you shoot your pace that you see your dot.
Okay.
Okay? Got it?
Got it.
Kick this out of your way just so you don't have to worry about no cases. Oh, you did end up shooting up your defensive ammo.
I'd kept one in there.
Okay.
I know. I took it out of the rest though. All right, so from low, ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
Take your time now. Again, you're just gonna pivot.
I'm gonna pivot this way, yeah.
Just gonna turn. Just gonna get off towards me.
I went for headshots. Sorry.
All right.
I
Why
forgot
are you
we're
sorry?
supposed to do that.
You just decided you're gonna do headshots. Get up
I
there
did.
again and try again. Don't be sorry. You kicked his butt.
All right, here we go. Aye.
Nice. What? You did great shooting there. What's the?
Because my first one felt, well, it was two left.
It was two left. It was in the target.
I know.
It was an A.
It's the B.
No, is an A good?
Yes,
You
but it's
did-
the B in my head.
You did good. Say that.
I did good.
You did good.
I did good.
You did good. So movement here. Where are you going to do this? How are you going to do this in real life? Hey, listen, you can work this in dry practice. You're not going to work this other than in a class, on a private range, something like that, okay? You're just not going to be able to do this at a public range. But again, the only thing that you've got that's different on the shooting range is recoil. Okay, so you can do this if you've got a double action gun, especially you got a hammer fired gun. But even if you're shooting a striker gun like Destiny is, you can mush a dead trigger. It's not really the end of the world. You get a click and then mush, 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 mush. And as long as you're seeing your sight, okay. So again, if you're Amish, you're seeing that front sight sitting in between the rear sight. That's great. You're English, you see the dot hovering over the target. That's great. Okay, and do that and go from there. Hey, good job. Give Destiny some kudos for shooting on camera, would you?